I mean, I'm loving the Jason Bateman era, but whatever happened to his sister Justine? Horrible Bosses 2 is the follow-up to the surprise comedy hit that put Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, and Charlie Day together as men fed up with the awful people in charge of their jobs. This time, the three of them are striking out on their own, meaning the only horrible bosses they have to blame now are themselves. Yet somehow, once again, they eventually find themselves bumbling through a criminal undertaking to fix their mistakes in much the same way as the first movie, because after all, that's just how sequels work. So is there enough left in the conceptual tank here to make another go-around worth the price of admission? Well, maybe at the Dollar Theater. So here's the good news. This cast still works really well together. The chemistry is perfect, and you can tell Sudeikis, Day, and Bateman are having a blast. There's a lot of this movie that is really funny, and I think the lion's share of that credit goes to the way those three guys play off of each other, and the freedom they're given here to improvise and fool around. Jennifer Aniston and Kevin Spacey also reprise their roles in extended cameos that I think work just fine for what they are intended for. But the real surprise in this flick is Chris Pine, who I thought was absolutely wonderful. His take on the arrogant and self-possessed rich kid takes some really interesting twists and turns, and he sells them all. There were a couple of moments here where I was like, wait a second, is he doing actual acting in this movie? And yes, he was. And yes, it worked. Whatever the case, my respect level for Pine and his comedic/dramatic abilities just went up a couple notches. I should also mention to stick around for the outtakes over the credits, which once again show how much fun this group was having together. Of course, there's a difference between just having a good time goofing off with friends and actually making a good movie, and that's where things start to fall apart. There just isn't any real substance or plot here to keep you engaged beyond the laughs. At least in the first, you felt like there was a cohesive underlying structure that held the movie together, but here, that facade doesn't quite hold up as well, meaning the difference between a movie that stays with you and one that just passes quickly once the laughs die down. It's not like I'm asking for my comedy to go all Interstellar on me or anything, although Christopher Nolan's Horrible Bosses 3 might just be amazing. I just want something solid to hang my hat on when the credits roll, beyond the humor. And of course, even much of the humor will depend on your level of comfort with the raunch-com style of pushing past boundaries and crossing lines every chance they get. At the end of the day, Horrible Bosses 2 is a funny reunion without much substance or purpose beyond the laughter. Even the great chemistry of the original and the wonderful addition of Chris Pine is only enough to bring this hollow comedy up to a self-employed C+. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. Stay tuned for this review's best ever challenge here in a bit. But first, I want to throw some stuff up over here that you can click on. If you'd like to subscribe, which I'd very much appreciate, do that by clicking the big gray subscribe button. And if you want to see more, well, Penguins of Madagascar is also out this week, so you can click here to see my review of that. You can also click the logo right up here to go to the website, yourmoviefriend.com, where you can find a searchable database of reviews as well as the written text of these videos. And finally, this review's best ever challenge, where you name the best movie ever in a particular category and also try to identify my choice. What is the best comedy sequel ever? It's amazing how many comedy sequels are just awful, but I'm going with the one that features a game with the Grim Reaper. Drop your own answer and a guess at mine in the comments, and the first person to guess mine gets a point. Thanks, and please subscribe.